Good afternoon, everyone. And last time we were discussing the difference between goals and objectives. And we have seen a couple of examples. What you see on your screen is goal or objective. Hardik, can you remind me? Or Vidhi or Jaimin or Chitali was not there. So can any one of you remind me whether these are goals or objectives?
These were goals.
Yes. So these were all goals because it deals with the overall picture of a lesson or a course, right? To be able to write effective business reports. In business reports, Nazma ma'am or Pratik sir might have told you what are the components, and each component can take one session. And all these components can make together a unified business report. So when you want a goal, try to understand that it can be broken into smaller pieces. These smaller pieces are objectives, right? So in order to understand the difference between goals and objectives, you have to remember this. If you can break it into pieces, it's a goal. If you cannot go further division, then it's an objective. Barabar? So you have to remember this. The first example is about business reports, students' confidence. So how can you develop students' confidence? There are multiple ways. So again, it's an umbrella term. You can break it into smaller segments. Similar with the language resources, to participate in business meetings. Business meetings can be of sales meeting, negotiation meetings, can be marketing meeting, can be annual general meeting. There are different kinds of meetings. So what are the language resources? Each type of meeting would have different type of language. So again, it's a big goal and you can break it down into segment. And the last one, to use language flexibly and effectively for a social and professional purposes. Again, when you say social and professional purposes, you can define what social purpose means and what professional purpose means. And you can have different segments of that. And you can even break it into the smallest unit. Like, for example, if I want to develop confidence for my students in pronunciation skills, so my smallest unit would be to make student understand the difference between two phonemes. Phoneme is the smallest unit of sound, right? So I cannot go beyond phoneme, but that is my objective. So I can reach my objective with certain levels of degrees. And the higher the degree, the bigger the objective. And that bigger objective has to be called as a goal, not the smallest objective. Okay, today I have something for you to think of. What are the types of objective we can see later on? But before that, we have to understand how to understand different features of the objectives. Now, by this slide, by this time, you have got an understanding that an objective is a specific thing, right? And these objectives will allow you to understand the measure of your objective. And then if it is measurable, it is attainable. And if it is attainable, that means it is realistic. And it has a time limit. So your objectives can be of these features. One, it has to be specific. Second, it has to be measurable. Third, it has to be attainable. Fourth, it has to be realistic. And fifth, it has to be time bound. So these are 5 important features of objectives known as SMART objective, right? So the next slide will ask you to write objectives for the goals that I have provided you. So if you have any questions at this point, please do raise and try to get your understanding clear that objectives can be the fragments of the larger goal. If you can break it into smaller units, then it is objective. Sorry, it's a goal. Yes. बोलो मैं हमने मैसेज करेलो છે एक मिनट just give me a minute. Yes, it was a CVM University syllabus for the master's sessions on communication skills, where I have to write objectives for the students who are studying in MSW and HR. So I have written objectives and I would like to share it later with you, whether these objectives are clear or not, but that will come at a later stage when we are finished with this course. See, why objectives are important, I think you will be able to learn it when you progress into the lesson plan and evaluation, which will be the last, evaluation would be the last component of your syllabus. And we would be able to do it, and we will be able to make sure that we try to define our goals and objectives as clear as possible. Because if that is clear, students will be able to enjoy the classes. And if they know what their objectives are, they will get focus. Even the teachers will get focus. Okay, let's look at this. Objectives. The first, I think, example is given to you, that to be able to write effective business reports, what are the objectives? Read through how these objectives have been written and how it relates to the goal. So I'm giving you some time to think through these objectives and goal, to understand that what are the ways in which you can later on write. Okay, let's take the first objective. When you say to be able to write a report which develops an argument systematically with appropriate highlighting of significant points and relevant supporting detail, what is being asked here from the teacher's side? That the teacher will make students realize and learn, make him or her learn that how to develop an argument systematically, where points have been raised with supporting details. So in a business report, you need arguments, and those arguments need a systematic elaboration with sufficient details. So you can make one point and then you can explain with your arguments and supporting examples, details. So the students with this objective in mind will learn how to use an argument in a business report and how to support the argument with details. Look at the second objective, to evaluate different ideas or solutions to a problem. Again, when you try to learn how to write an effective business report, you are dealing with a problem. And as a writer, as a business consultant or a manager, your job is to solve it. So you might be brainstorming. See, it's just not evaluation of ideas that have been given to you, but you have to brainstorm with the management team, with colleagues, with customers, with different stakeholders. And then you combine those ideas and evaluate them to a problem. A very important example, I think, can be given to you here is, I assume that all of you use toothpaste, right? Now, should I assume, or I must be confident that all of you are using a toothpaste? So
We do.
no, some people use that Vico Vajranti Dantmanjan powder. There is a possibility. I may be overlooking the aspect. Colgate Dantmanjan powder is also available, and yeah, okay, forget it. But we use toothpaste. Let me be more general and specific, as well as specific. So when I don't want to name the product, when this product was launched in India, it had lots of competitors, and it's a very famous brand. And this brand was looking to expand their business, their revenues, because they wanted to increase the production. If increased production happens, you increase in profit. So they were thinking, and all the management and the management consultants, the designers of the toothpaste designers, they were all thinking that what can be done. And suddenly, an ITI holder, Industrial Training Institute holder, he just happened to come to the meeting to submit a report or some detail, and then he overheard that people are discussing that how to increase the production. So at that moment, he did not have any solution. So he went back home, and later on at his house, what happened that they have a good habit of using toothbrush, brushing their tooth twice a day. So in the morning and in the evening. So his son squeezes the paste out of the toothpaste, and as it was nearing the end, so he chopped off the upper part of the nozzle, and the paste was coming out easily. Now, this was a really interesting idea to his mind, because he was very much related to the innovation. He was always thinking. And then he decided that he will take that chopped off nozzle and demonstrate that how production can be increased. So he took a knife and the nozzle next day to his office, and he said, manager साहब मुझे कुछ कहना है, आप कल जो बात कर रहे थे उसका शायद मेरे पास solution है. He showed the solution. He demonstrated it very carefully. That sir जी हमारा जो nozzle है ना उसका जो diameter है ना थोड़ा सा आप बढ़ा दे तो he does वो समझ नहीं पा रहा था कि क्या कह रहा है वो and he demonstrated ये जो nozzle है ना उसको हम एक बार से छील ले ना तो उसका diameter से थोड़ा सा बढ़ जाएगा तो उसको बोला क्या फायदा क्या होगा इससे सर जी जितना ज्यादा स्क्वीज करेंगे नोजल बड़ा होगा तो टूथपेस्ट भी ज्यादा ही बाहर आएगा और ज्यादा बाहर आएगा तो कंज्यूम भी ज्यादा होगा और कंज्यूम ज्यादा होगा तो डिमांड भी बढ़ेगा पेस्ट्रो अपना सक्सेसफुल है मार्केट में ये पता है फिर भी कंपटीशन हम नहीं दे पा रहे तो उसका वजह उसकी वजह ये भी हो सकती है कि हमारा नोजल थोड़ा सा छोटा है देन ही the manager could sense that this is an idea to the problem of generating higher production and revenue. So you evaluate different ideas collected from various sources. And this is what the teacher in the classroom should do. Sir, हमारे क्लासरूम में शाम को बहुत गर्मी लगती है पता नहीं क्या करना चाहिए The simple fact is either you put on the AC and increase the cost or you go to the garden and take the lecture over there. Wow, wonderful idea. So you evaluate the ideas. But I need to use Blackboard, how it can be possible. And then somebody would say, sir, we have a portable whiteboard and we can use that in the garden. Wow, that's wonderful. So when a teacher is going to the classroom, with a goal to make students write effective business reports, his objective is to make students brainstorm not only just about writing but also how to evaluate the ideas. And then evaluation of idea doesn't stop there. How to express that? If you see the objectives written in a sequence, if you take the first session to write effective business reports, the first, how to develop an argument and how to support with an example. And then you get ideas and you try to solve the problem. So in the second part of your lesson, you try to solve the problem. And how do you solve the problem? You use language, a range of language. And what is the use of language there? It should be clear description of the problem or the argument and supported with clear description of the details, information. It must express the point of use that the ITI holder, the mechanic, would like to express. So the business report is not just for the higher authorities, but all people who are going to read it. So it should be very clear, concise, and to the point. So that language has to be used. So the language teacher does not stop to be just a language teacher. He becomes an instrument with which the students do critical thinking on how to write business letters effectively, business reports effectively. And then you have a language vocabulary related to the field. So you can see that one goal, and there are how many? There are 4 objectives. So each objective can take at least 3 sessions. So you can see, in order to reach one goal, how many sessions you require. As a teacher, you can judge, okay, I think I need 2 sessions on this objective because my student can argue well. Okay, they are the best argumentators, they are the good orators, so I think I'll need just 1. But the language skill is poor, so I think I'll devote 3 sessions on the objective 3. Right? So goals and objectives will give you a clear idea that how much time you require to execute each of that. Now, suppose your students come from English medium and they have a good range of vocabulary and they are from management faculties. You teach in MBA department and they know their language because all of them have done BBAs or BCom. So you need less time there as far as the vocabulary is concerned. But their language, the range is not enough. That means the structures they use are not enough. So you can devote more time there in the objective that you have chosen. Suppose your MBA students, some of your MBA students come from mixed background. Some of them come from arts and they have cracked, let's say, GUJCAT or GSET or whatever exam is conducted for the MBAs. And they have cracked it somehow. So their language, their arguments would be weaker compared to science and commerce students because they have studied those subjects. In arts, they might not have. So you need to devote more time on the first two objectives compared to the rest of the two objectives. So these objectives will give teacher enough tools to understand how much time, energy, and resources are to be invested. Any doubts, any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay. So, yes, this is again the goal which we talked in the samples, to build up students' confidence and provide them with language resources to participate in business meetings. Now, you can go through once again and then we'll discuss.
Okay, sir.
Right? So, you see what happens. No. Oh. Should not get over. Yeah. Wait. Okay. Now, with this, we come to topic-based syllabus design. We have seen what course design can be, and then we can definitely talk about topic-based syllabus design. Now, what do you mean by topic-based? Topic means a topic in a grammar, topic in ELT, topic in management, topic in communication skills, where the problem students are facing. Just one particular topic. Now, you can do that instead of designing overall syllabus. You can just have one topic and you can work on that. And this would be mostly true for one-to-one sessions, where the teacher is one and the student is also one. It is actually fun for students because they will learn everything about the topic. The students know what they are going to learn, but it would be a nightmare for the teachers. Because a syllabus guides where to go. A syllabus is designed to lead somewhere. It is written by experts, and each year, or let's say each twice a year, twice in a year, or thrice in a year, or 4 times after 4 years after, they sit together and revise. Those experts revise the syllabus. So as a teacher, it's very important for me to look at the experts because they have done the research work. I don't need to do that research work. So somebody else have designed and they are going to teach. They are going to teach the subject, the syllabus, who somebody else have written. And it is a very safe zone because I am not involved. I have not done anything. Whatever you gave me, I taught. For a year, you can say so if you are a new teacher to the system. But if you are very agitated with what you are teaching and you don't see the results that are coming out of syllabus, and you will say, no, this syllabus has a problem and needs to revise, needs revision. Many teachers won't do this because you don't need to put your brain at work, because it's lots of hard work to design a syllabus, whether it's a topic-based, course-based, or anything. You have to know, you have to go through need analysis, you have to research material, you have to supply activities, you have to write learning objectives, and those learning objectives must reflect the learning goals. It should reflect. We still have seen only learning objectives. Then we have to see individual learning objectives. And in some of the countries, they try to relate that how these goals are transferred to skills. It's a lot of pain to design a syllabus. It's not just that you got some ideas, you put it on the paper, supplied some of the reference books available in the market, and that is the work done. No. You need to understand how students are going to learn what they are going to learn. So most of the teachers, they don't take designing syllabus because it's safe zone not to do that. So those who are learning from the topic-based syllabus, they get natural stimulus. Again, all ELT class and the syllabus and the activities and whatever you do in the ELT class must allow learner to learn the language in the real life context. And I have been stressing this since we began this course. So when you have a topic-based syllabus that I need to improve my telephone conversation skills, so all the examples and activities would come from how you talk on your telephone. So the students will decide the topic of interest. The teachers can sit together and negotiate what are the topics of interest, and they will discuss, explain issue or opinion. Here, the student may say his own mind that I want to do this, and that's where the difficulty may arise for the teachers. The objectives such as grammar, lexical resources, pronunciation, it can be included in the course, but this topic-based course can give students an upper hand to advance their learning. It is not for intermediate or elementary students. It is for the advanced students. And those who are good at language, at least at intermediate level, they will learn by designing their own syllabus. I want to learn this. And these are the topics that interest me. And the teacher will come up with a syllabus. In fact, in some of the countries where, for example, Japan and Germany, the students hire teachers, and you may see it on LinkedIn or some of the platforms like Indeed, job portal, where direct learners hire teacher that I'm ready to pay $20 US per session, provided you teach me this. So students will take a recruitment in their hand. Students will decide how teacher is going to make lesson plans, and teacher is going to interact on the topics that he or she is interested in. There is a negotiation between student and teacher. It's not a whole class where students come together to study. It's one-to-one session. the work I did with Cyprus-based a refugee organization, they just wanted the student to learn how to greet and how to self-introduce. And that was the first part of their project, that they must know how to self-introduce and how to greet. And this is what the refugees have said to the agency, that what we need to learn first is this. So, topic-based syllabus is an exciting field and exciting field for the students, but challenging for the teachers. Why it is good idea that you work for somebody else's syllabus? Because structuring the course has the following components, which requires a lot of research. Need analysis we have already seen. We have to set short-term and long-term objectives. We have to talk about remedial grammar if there are any issues with the grammar. We have to do correction of the errors. And we have to include those errors with a mechanism of feedback where we try to make SSR. We try to get success, we give satisfaction, and we retain our students. And then we have a variety of methodology in our course with reference to the material, activities, and teaching methodologies or approaches. So that is it from my side.